Hey guys, it's Megan, and today I'm going to be doing a palette collection of all the palettes I have, and I'm going to have them in my lap, and I'm going to try and show you guys right now without dropping any. So those are all my palettes, and I'm just going to be going over them for you today. If you're interested, continue to watch. Thanks! So I actually have a lot of small palettes in my collection, and the first one I'm going to start off with is my little black beauty book, and it's the warm edition from e.l.f. And I got this for Christmas this year. And I don't normally reach for this one unless I'm looking for a very specific color. But it says it's a warm palette, but I do think it has a nice amount of cool tones in it to actually be considered both a warm and cool palette. So the next palette I'll show you is my LA Colors palette, and it's really old. This is one of my first palettes I've ever had. And it's more of a neutral kind of palette. So this palette is the Kylie Jenner XO Bronze palette, and it comes with 9 colors. It is the warm edition. This is pretty old as well. I don't usually use this palette unless I'm using this center one. I love this nice orangey color. Not really showing the pigment on camera. They look kind of washed out, but they are really pigmented in person. And then the next palette I'll show you is this Buxom palette that I have, and this comes with 12 shades, and it comes with a nice size mirror for a small palette, which small palettes don't usually come with. And it has all these. I use these colors right here to highlight my inner corner and my brow bone a lot, so I do use this a lot, especially if I'm on the go and I need a palette that's quick and easy and reliable. This is the one I reach for. This palette is the Overcast palette from Sephora. I got this a long time ago, and this one has 10 shades in it. Okay, well, this is kind of old, so one of them broke. I don't know, I don't really use this palette anymore. It did the job for me when I did need a palette, but now that I have more options, I don't usually use this one. It's one of those that I should probably get rid of. I just haven't yet. So this palette is the Smokey Eyes by the Color Workshop. It's like one of those off-brand palettes that you have instead of the Urban Decay Smoky ones. So as you can see, I haven't actually used this one. If you want me to do an eye look with this off-brand Urban Decay Smoky look, let me know down in the comments below. But I do think it's really pretty colors. It could be considered a warm and cool palette. But yeah, if you would like me to do a look with this, let me know down below. The next one I have is the Tartelette Toasted palette, and I've actually done a full makeup look with this one. So pretty. I've done a review, makeup look, and swatches if you're interested. I'll link that below. This is such a pretty palette. Definitely came in handy. This is actually one of my go-to palettes that I use on an everyday basis. This is the one I usually gravitate towards. The next eyeshadow palette I have is a Perfectly Matte eyeshadow palette. And this one is another off-brand palette that I believe I got for Christmas this year. That shimmer is really pretty. These shimmers are here. I'm not sure if the camera's picking them up, but they are so pretty. I do use this palette just for those 2 shimmers. This might be another palette I'm gonna give away. I don't know yet. I do think it is a nice quality for a Walmart brand eyeshadow. So if you're interested, I'll try and find a link for this. The next palette I'll show you is the Forever 21 palette. This one I did get for Christmas in a Secret Santa exchange. And that is not silver, that is an empty pan because I dropped it and that one broke. But it was a nice burgundy color. This is a really nice palette. I like to use this color a lot. I'll use this gray and the neutrals to set my eyelids sometimes. It is really pretty. I do use this quite frequently. So this palette is the Naked for Smoky palette. And this is one I got when it was relatively new. It's really pretty. It's a really pretty cool palette tone. It's a really pretty cool tone palette. I don't use it as much as I needed to. This was one of my first really expensive palettes, right next to her sister, Naked 3 palette. So these were one of my first high quality palettes that I ever got. This palette I definitely got my use out of. I don't know if you could see, but the eyeshadows are getting kind of low. I still definitely use this all the time. If I'm going for a more warmer tone look, I go for the Naked 3, and if I'm going for a cooler one, I go for the Naked Smoky palette. These are a great pair to have. I actually don't have the Naked 2 palette, but I heard that's also a great Naked palette. Next one I'm going to show you is this Cara palette. I'm not sure if it's a known brand or not. I've never heard of this personally, but I got it for Christmas this year, and this palette kind of reminds me of a Morphe palette that has a mirror, and it is filled with shimmers. Almost all of the pigments here are shimmers. Sorry, I want to make sure it's in focus. I use this one quite a lot when I'm going for a more bold look. I like to use this palette. It's a really pretty palette. It's more of a warm tone palette, and this is go-to. My next and favorite palette is the Jaclyn Hill palette by Morphe, and this is one I got for my birthday this year. It is so pretty. It has every color. It is so pretty. It has any and every color you will ever need. This is the one palette, if you don't have, you should definitely invest on. And it's pretty good for the price. You get every color you'll ever need. The next and final palette I have to show for you guys is called the Saharan 2 by Javias. And this palette I have actually not used yet, and I was thinking about doing a review and a tutorial for it. I'm not too sure if you guys would be into that. If you are, let me know down below. But I'm excited to use this. I think, this palette has 6 shimmer shades and 3 matte shades. I'm so excited to use this palette. So in total, I have around 15 palettes, and I think they're all great in their own sense, and no matter how much the price, the name, the brand, it all just matters the quality. So even if you have 2 big palettes like these, they work just the same. They're great. One's for different purposes. You got glitters, you got every day, you know? You could be balling on a budget, and it doesn't even matter. Thank you so much for watching. Comment down below on what you'd like to see next. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. See you guys.